Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Baking Diva. I know. You can laugh if you want. I just looked at myself in the mirror and I laughed too. But I told you in my first video that I'm young at heart. So I guess at this point in my life, I'm never going to change. I have 4 grandsons and I think they appreciate all my costumes that I wear for all the different holidays. I've been dressing in a full Easter Bunny costume for the last 10 years. We have a big egg hunt at our house, and the kids really have a ball and they enjoy it. It's so funny though, 2 of them, Aaron, when he was younger, and Lucas, up to last year, and he's 4 now, were terrified of me. They were clutching onto their dad, and they were like, They didn't know it was me. And I'm trying to pull up my mask and tell them, it's Grandma, it's Grandma. So yesterday Lucas was here and he told me, Grandma, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I know it's not the Easter Bunny, it's you. So now he wants to put on a little mask and he wants to be my assistant. So anyway, it is what it is. A few YouTubers have asked me a couple of questions. So before we get started on the recipe, I'm going to answer them. Let's see here. One of them was, we know you bake, but do you also know how to cook? Can I cook? What do you think? Of course I can cook. I had a mother who was a great cook. Both my grandmothers were fantastic cooks and bakers, and my grandfather made the best meatballs in the world. So yes, I can cook, but do I like to cook? When I was younger, I liked to cook. But now, you know, the kids are grown. It's just my husband and I here. We're retired, so cooking's okay. I do prefer baking. Baking is fun. Baking is, I can look at baking not the same way I look at a pot roast. I can't look at a pot roast and say, oh, how cute that is. It came out so nice. But I could look at my cakes or my cupcakes and say, oh my God, that came out so cute. I love it. So yes, I do know how to cook. Do I like to cook? Not so much. Do I like to bake? I love to bake. I like to make little treats. That's my passion. Back when I was younger, I had a business. It was called Chocoholics Anonymous. And it was long before making and molding chocolate was popular. It was just getting started. I didn't sell my chocolate, but I sold the molds and all the supplies, and it was fun. It was fun. So that hopefully that answered your question. The next question was, a few of you have noticed I have different kinds of aprons. The one I have on today happens to be jelly beans. I thought it kind of went with the theme, the Easter theme. Now I will tell you a little secret. Almost my entire life, I never wore an apron. I hated aprons. I guess that has something to do with the name of my baking channel, The Baking Diva. I just thought they were frumpy and I didn't like them. Of course, I learned over the years that I ruined a lot of clothes. So now I wear aprons all the time. And I sort of have them for different themes. I love Betty Boop. So I have Betty Boop aprons, I have Christmas aprons, I have St. Patrick's Day aprons, the Easter, the Valentine's Day, and of course my Diva apron, which I don't have on today. So yes, I do have a lot of aprons. I've become like a crazy apron lady now, but it's keeping my clothes a lot better. So I think I answered the 2 questions. If you have any more questions for me, put them in the box below under the comments and I will try to answer them for you. So right now I'm going to collect my thoughts, get all my ingredients together, and I'll be back in 1 second and we'll start our baking. Bye-bye. I'm back. So today we're making Cadbury Egg Brownie Bites. And I think you're going to love them. There must be somebody in your family that loves Cadbury eggs. They're so popular this time of year. So we're going to begin. And first of all, I need you to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And now I'm going to show you the ingredients we need to make our recipe. First of all, you're going to need the mini cupcake tins. I call them tart pans. This recipe will yield 24, and my pan is small, so I'm using 2 of these. You're going to need baking spray to spray your pan. You're going to need a box of store-bought brownie mix, whichever type you like. I happen to have Betty Crocker. You can use whatever you want. This is important. The Cadbury Cream Eggs. You need to get the miniature ones. The regular, larger ones are too big for this recipe. These need to be the miniature Cadbury Cream Eggs. And these come in these little cartons, and there's 12 in a carton, so you'll need 2 cartons. I think I picked these up in CVS. I think Walmart has them. You can find them anywhere. You're going to need 1 egg. At least I need an egg for this brownie mix, my oil and my water. So right now, I'm going to mix the brownie mix with the ingredients it calls for on the box, and then I will be back in 1 minute. While I was away, I sprayed my baking tins and I mixed my brownie mix as per the directions on the box. Also, unwrapped all the mini eggs. Obviously, you can't put the chocolate eggs with the wrappers in the oven, so they all have to be unwrapped. I do have a correction. Earlier, I think I told you we were going to put 1 tablespoon of brownie batter in each one of these openings. It's 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to begin doing that now. And after I get them all filled, I'm going to put them in my preheated oven for 11 minutes. Then I'm going to take them out and let them cool for 2 minutes, and then I will be back to show you what we do after that. Look. Now what I'm going to do is after they cool for 2 minutes, I'm going to take one of the unwrapped Cadbury eggs and I'm going to push it into the center of the brownie. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just pushing each egg down into the center of the brownie. The brownies are still hot. They look good. Now after I get all of the eggs pushed into the brownies, then they're going to cool about another 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to remove them and I'm going to put them on the baking rack. So let me just go and get my other tin over here. A little hot. Okay, finished putting the eggs in there. I have to give a kudos to my husband. He unwrapped all the eggs for me. Of course, he did tell me he's never doing it again. So maybe if you have any kids at home, they'll unwrap the eggs for you. Just have to make sure they don't eat them while they're unwrapping them. So there's the 24 eggs. That went into the 24 mini brownies. I'm going to throw that away. Now once these cool, give them 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to put them on this rack and then I'm going to ice them. Now in the box below, I'm going to give you my recipe for the buttercream icing. It's really quite easy here. It's a cup of softened butter. I have it written down for you. 4 cups of confection sugar. There's 1/4 teaspoon of salt, tablespoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of milk, and then some yellow food coloring. You can do that, and we're going to ice them, and then when I'm done, we're going to put a few, as you can see here, little yellow sprinkles and white sprinkles, because they are supposed to be eggs, so to speak. If you're lazy and you don't want to make your own buttercream icing, feel free to go to the store and buy a canned icing. They have them in so many of the bright colors now. Bright pink and green and yellow and everything you can think of. So whatever is easiest for you, feel free to do it. Okay, so I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes, and then I'll be back to show you how I put the icing on them, and I'm going to taste one. I just finished putting all of the Cadbury eggs inside the warm brownie bites. Now I'm going to take them out of the tins and put them on the cooling rack to cool a little bit more. As you can see, there's a couple missing from the tin. I can't show you how to make anything without sampling it. And then Mr. Baking Diva came walking along and said, "Oh, I want to try one too." And Tim, how did they taste?
Marvelous.
They really are delicious.
What's inside them?
Cadbury Cream Eggs. They're really so good. They're going to be a hit on your Easter table. Of course, we had them warm, and they taste even better warm. You might want to run a thin knife around the edges of these brownie bites before you take them out. Sometimes they get a little bit stuck in there. Alright, so I'm going to let these cool, and then I'll be back in a minute to ice them and taste them. Okay. The brownie bites are cooled, and I just put all my buttercream icing in my pastry bag. If you don't have a pastry bag, don't worry about it. You can take a Ziploc bag, cut off the corner of it, put the icing in there, and use that. Now I'm just going to put a little yellow icing on these. Just swirl it around. And then when I'm done, I'm going to put on some white and yellow sprinkles on them. And then when I'm all done with that, I'm going to taste one. They look good. I shouldn't say I'm going to taste one. Already tasted one. I'm going to taste one with the icing on it and the sprinkles. Little eggs for your Easter table. If you make them, please, I'd love to hear from you. Put a comment in the comment box on the page and let me know how everyone liked them. I should mention to you that our video, I hope you noticed, came out much brighter and clearer today. We finally were able to get our camera and our lighting in sync, thanks to my husband and my son. I'm the baker. I don't deal with the electronic end of it. My husband wants to know if he's going to get credits at the end of the movie. I told him not yet. Maybe someday, when he proves himself, I'll think about it. Okay, don't these look good? Oops. Always remember, keep your hand tight on the top of the bag, or when you squeeze it, all the icing is going to go flying out of the top. Okay, here we go. Now let me put a little sprinkles on these babies. Oh, how pretty. You know, I couldn't find white sprinkles anywhere. Everybody was out of them. So I called the food store. I asked for the bakery department, and I asked them if they had any that they could sell me. And they said yes. So I went up there and I purchased a plastic container of the white sprinkles. Put a few yellows on there. They really look pretty. You see what I mean? I can look at these and I can say, how cute! I can't look at a pork chop or a pot roast and say, oh, how cute. I'm more into the creative end of it. All right. Take a look at these little babies. I'm going to put them on a serving platter, and I'll be back in a minute to taste one and give you a better look. I'm all done. They came out beautiful. Now it's time for tasting. I'm going to cut one in half so you can see what the inside looks like. Let the camera pan down and let me cut this little guy in half. Look at that. Look at the middle of that egg. Oh my God. So good. And oh, I'm going to have a sip of coffee with my little Cadbury brownie. This mug, it says it's not shopping, it's retail therapy. That was given to me by my good friend in Idaho, Gabby. So let me take a bite of this. Oh my gosh. You have to make these. They're really good, and I'm not just saying that. So, have to swallow. If you like what you saw today and you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss anything. You can make comments below and give me a thumbs up. And I'm going to list the ingredients for the icing and the brownies in the box below. So, happy Easter, everyone! Toodles!